Well, hey there team, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to Roadwarden. This is the game that we're having a look at. Now, I missed it on the tail end of last year, apparently released on 12th of September, but we're having a look at it today because why not? Steam was recommending it to me. He was saying, Scarlet, you should play this game. This would be right up your alley. And I was like, well, okay, Steam, if you say so, let's do it then. According to Steam, Roadwarden is an illustrated text-based RPG that uses isometric pixel art and combines mechanics borrowed from RPGs, visual novels, adventure games, and interactive fiction. Oh, okay, cool. Let's see what it's all about. Looks cool. I like the art. Music's pretty mellow. I don't mind walls of text, especially when you're trying to do something a little bit different. So Bronte comes to mind. I don't particularly love just straight visual novels where your only gameplay interaction is clicking next. That's not a game. That's a PowerPoint. But, I don't mind the experimenting in between and trying to find something a bit more gamey. So let's see what this is like. Everyone knows to stay away from the wilderness. Most people would never risk a lonely journey. Roadwardens not only accept this struggle, they embrace it. They deliver messages, assist merchants, burn human corpses, that escalated, okay, and if possible, get rid of the beasts and the highwaymen. They live on the road, die young, or retire early. It's a dangerous job, but a respectable one, and it pays well. Yeah, I still have my doubts. No, I leave the safety of the city walls. Yeah, this choice can't be altered. Standard. For those familiar with RPGs, 40-day time limit, regular rule set. Sounds pretty good. Okay, so it's sort of like a bit of a Death Stranding thing, dare I say. This sort of go-between bloke that does all the odd jobs. High risk, high reward. The wall is still standing. Oh, look at this. We've got a little picture. Cool. There are no wolves around, no stench of blood. Good signs. This should be the place that you are looking for. You were supposed to meet with a group of soldiers, but you hear no voices, no sounds of labour. The gate is ajar, but the camp isn't safe. You may keep away the goblins and pebblers, but not beast folk, nor trolls. Then the night is near. Your palfrey breathes heavily. It had had a long day. I could just look for another shelter. I need to look around cautiously. I dismount and sneak to the gate. Let's peek inside. I get off the horse and enter the camp briskly. No. I need to look around cautiously. That seems reasonable to me. Archive, save. I've got some settings. Considering the noise, you doubt that anyone noticed the clatter of hoofs. The short, or considering the noise? I suppose you mean the lack thereof, in that I'm making noise and there's not much noise in the background. The short, dry grasses barely cover the arid soil of this valley, but you may be a minute away from the edge of the sparse woods, which get denser as they climb up the hills. At best, this trail has a few more years before getting overgrown for good. Hard to believe it's the only route north. I dismount and sneak to the gate. Let's peek inside. Take care of yourself. If you're hurt or exhausted, some actions won't be available to you. The weaker you are, the higher the chance you'll die in combat. Oh, okay, sure. Your heavy boots hit the ground and the pain of the long ride finally catches up with you. You stretch out, bringing your back and legs comfort. All you want now is a table, a decent chair, a nice mug of beer, and some warm stew. With any luck, your axe won't be needed here. You stretch out, bringing your back and legs. Oh, right, okay, right. I got a little bit confused there. I was like, hang on, why am I sitting down? No, I'm not. I'm just thinking of better things. I approach the gate slowly. Oh, okay, we can see inside it now. That's a cool little diorama. If it's a military camp, it doesn't look the part. Plenty of wasted space. The fire pit is cold. 2 people are sitting at the table, tired and disheartened. They're looking in different directions, paying no attention to one another. One of them is holding a cup. After a moment, you notice the quiet humming. You recognize the melody of a light-hearted drinking song from the city harbour. I could just look for another shelter. They don't look like much of a threat. I can enter. Well, let's pop our head in and have a squiz. It takes them a few breaths to glance in your direction. The first person greets you with a wave of his hand. There are bags under his eyes. His beard is messy. Despite his simple shirt, he's wearing durable, decent boots. A mace with a head covered in iron hangs at his side, but he doesn't reach for it. I take a look at the second soul. Just like you, she's wearing a gambeson, but hers is a little bit loose, as if she took it off a corpse. Her head is shaven, and as if she's protecting herself from flesh-eating bugs. Oh, very Alien 3. Her eyes are weary yet kind. She smiles. Considering the squad was sent here half a year ago, these two surely look the part. Though there should be more of them. 8, you believe. Ah, okay, so we've got a little bit more. I don't know how I feel about the character that you are. I'm supposed to be immersed, right? I'm supposed to be the character, inhabit their body. And I don't really love when they have backstory relevant to the now that I don't have, right? And ultimately it's being used as a narrative hook, right? So yeah, okay, apparently we're here on a specific quest. There's supposed to be more dudes. There's clearly more information, and it hurts the immersion, the fact that the game's refusing to tell me it, because the guy that I'm supposed to be would know this. Anyway, just a thought. A pet peeve? I don't know if I'm the only one that would feel this way. I let them speak first, or I ask them about their lieutenant. No, they can go first. It's nice to see an unharmed traveller in this godforsaken shithole. Makes me just a tiny bit hopeful. The bearded man's voice is strong, yet timid. You'll be staying the night with us, I guess. We're soldiers, he and I, adds the armoured woman. Oh, okay, can we mouse over him? Okay, it's just bold font to designate their character, I suppose. The bearded man and the armoured woman. It's quite a band title. Her moment switches from half asleep to relaxed. We'll do our best to keep the camp safe. But if you were to take the first watch, it would be a huge help. Travellers ought to help each other, wouldn't you say? You think for a moment. To fully rest, you'd need a good sleep. This is weird. Sure, leave it to me. Fantastic, she rubs her hands together. I don't remember the last time I had more than a half a night of sleep. The hours before midnight should be the calmest. Just wake us up if there's anything that happens. It's very trusting of them, but it seems like they're in a bit of a dire spot, you know. I guess everyone handles it differently. The man flashes you a wide smile. It's easy to wake us up, just yell. He drinks from his mug. I ask him about their lieutenant. You wonder how to phrase your question. Whenever you meet new people, you can influence how they perceive you by selecting one of the attitudes. Be friendly, playful, distanced, intimidating, vulnerable. I'm going to be distanced. I'm looking for your lieutenant. Oh, it can give me a... I'm looking for your lieutenant. Yeah. Why is it? Can I click on that? Oh, okay, let's just hide the hint. The woman stands up, dusts off her gambeson, adjusts the sword at her side, and rests her hand on the hilt. Her shoulders are straight, her eyes attentive. It'd be me, traveller. Are you in trouble? I'm fine, I'm just your new Roadwarden. I took you for a wayfarer, to be honest. When you mention that your mount is waiting outside, she raises an eyebrow. Shouldn't you unsaddle it? I bet it's tired. She this is a bit off, eh? It's good writing. Well, if that's the intention. If I'm supposed to be made to feel a bit unbalanced, it's good. She glances at the gate and then at her companion. Her voice drops the slightest sign of weariness. I expect you're looking for directions. I'll help you as much as I can. She reaches out to you. Lieutenant Tulia. It may be a trap. I gesture for her to stop, pretending to be embarrassed. I should wash myself first. I shake her hand. I don't shake her hand. I'm not doing this bullshit play acting. I'll just stand off. I don't shake her hand. I'm Leto. Ah, close. Close. Almost. I'm Gronk. Lieutenant stands with her hand awkwardly reaching out. After a few breaths, she crosses her arms, and the air gets a bit colder. You better bring your horse now, we'll talk later. Well, bad luck, you know. It could all be foe. I'd rather hurt her feelings than not get stabbed in the neck, right? The soldier gives you a sullen glance. You'll have to sleep on the ground under the stars, no tents. I need to get used to it anyway. I walk away. You walk through the gate. Your mount looks around and snorts anxiously. Not many humans could ride a horse. It's not only taller than you, but also bulky, as heavy as it is strong. You can get in the saddle with a single breath, but most people wouldn't know where to even begin. From every side, it's a wall of flesh. Horses were brought to the Dragonwoods from the conquests in the south. They can trot for a long time, but won't outrun some of the local monsters. Your palfrey needs you to survive, but without it, you too would be lost. It's my only companion here. I want it to feel at ease. I don't care how it feels, but I need it to be strong if I want to travel, and I can't afford another one. No, well, I mean, that seems unnecessarily cold. People who follow the channel, I'm pretty cold when it comes to pets and all that. I actually am of the position that they are a tool. But it's a little bit different when the relationship is more symbiotic and you're on the road alone together. You want to make it feel alright. Don't want to cultivate an environment where, given half the chance, the horse will fucking run away. It takes a few steps towards you, scolding you with another snort. You scratch the bottom of its neck with strength and confidence, just the way it likes it. Humans see useful animals and even pets as monsters in disguise. Getting emotionally attached to them is believed to lead humans to their doom. But you know that horses need companionship. I speak to it gently and lead it to the camp. Yeah, I can get around that. That's fine. You end up next to the fire pit. Removing the saddle makes the horse nicker with relief. You take a couple of minutes to examine its back, just in case. While the riding equipment is not that heavy for such a strong animal, with enough time, it starts to chafe. You wish it had something better to eat than its shabby grass. You should look for an inn. I need to unpack. Alright, well, I'm curious where this game's going. So far, I mean, it's cool, it's good, seems well written and all that, but it is just a visual novel. It is getting overwhelmingly positive reviews. I'm sort of waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's a little bit tough to do it in half an hour as well, especially with such a slow burn. I really do hope that we get to the drop. You haven't brought that many things, and you lost one of the sacks while fleeing the Crimson Corpse Eaters. Oh, those bastards. Worst of all, you have no rope left, but maybe the soldiers could share one. Shouldn't cost more than a dragon bone. Geez, that better be sort of just a name of a coin, because who the fuck just rolls with dragon bones? Aside from the travel set, your only few valuable possessions essential for your trade. Fighter, mage, scholar. It's not even worth reading the others. Fighter. I spent my savings on decent combat equipment. I have a fine gambeson, an axe made of steel, and a reliable crossbow with quarrels. Yes. Fighter. You unpacked and... Oh, hang on. Open your inventory. Taking hits will damage your armor. You can then fix it in various settlements. Armor 3 out of 4. Oh, okay. And then vitality 3 out of 4. And I can click those to get them out of the way. And I can have a look at my inventory. Unless you're occupied with other tasks, you can eat food, drink potions, and use items from this menu. Okay, this is more like it. A little bit more, fidelity. You can examine your possessions at all times. So we've got here food rations, dried meat, crackers, nuts, seed, fruit, and water, which spoil slowly but don't require additional cooking. What else we got here? A pouch with coins. The city artisans make coins by cutting dragon bones into slices. They're valued by merchants. They're rarely used in the countryside. I've got a gambeson, a padded defensive jacket made of linen filled with rags. It's the cheapest type of armor, yet surprisingly effective and, as a result, very common. Travel set, your sack contains all sorts of useful tools. A crossbow, difficult to make and valued for their usefulness. Crossbows can be used even by an inexperienced traveller and can pierce most scales and armors. A well-crafted battle axe. Traveling with an axe shows that you've learned how to fight humans and human-sized monsters, while having a weapon made of steel makes it clear that you are someone to be reckoned with. Okay, this is cool. I like all the flavour. You unpack and inspect your belongings. Your water skin isn't pierced. The spare clothes are still here, and just in case, you take a look at your wooden bowl and mug, your cape, tinderbox, bandages, food rations, knife. Nothing special or too cumbersome. From time to time, your routine helps you avoid mistakes, but this doesn't make it any more exciting. I return to the soldiers. They're at the table again, observing your beast and chatting between themselves. Your stomach growls at the sight of them eating out of wooden bowls. There's no meal for you, but you can sit down on a tree log. I take some of my own rations. I don't want to eat with them. I sit down and ask Tulia what she can tell me about this area. Yeah, I still want to keep my hackles up. Keeping your stomach full will make you stronger. Starvation won't allow you to restore vitality while resting. Oh, okay. You can find your supplies in the inventory. So now we've got the nourishment added. You experience no bonuses and penalties. She focused and chooses her words carefully. She looks away only when she gathers her thoughts. I can only say as much as I know, and that's not much. She nods toward the other soldier. As you can see, there's not a lot of us left. At the beginning of the summer, there were 8 of us, including our previous lieutenant. Okay, well, she knows that it's 8. I know it's 8. So she's volunteering information that I haven't given her and that she should know. So that's a good sign. Look at me I'm getting into it, man. I'm sitting back, getting ready to swing my axe if problems go wrong. Previous lieutenant, so she stepped up. 5 are dead, 1 has run away in tears. We've also strangers in this land, adds her companion. Any piece of information may help me do my job. The man leads forward, his legs shake nervously. He sounds like a kid asking a bard to sing one more story, tell a joke, or do a magic trick. Whatever it takes to escape from boredom. His untrimmed beard hides a much younger face than you originally thought. What did the officials tell you? I expect not that much. No soul governs this land. What I've discussed with the officials should stay between me and them. No, I'm gonna actually proffer some information. I share what I consider to be relevant. You tell the soldiers how little guidance you've received. Since this area is too far away from Hovlavan, you keep it under control. To keep it under control, you were warned that it's untamed and unknown. Who knows how many villages, bandits, or monsters may be found in these unmapped hills and forests. From time to time, new people come here to look for boundless opportunities. Most of them never return. Do they turn into walking corpses or find what they are looking for? No soul could tell me, so I was looking for your guidance. The lieutenant drinks... I was a bit confused by that text and the prose threw me. I wasn't 100% sure who was talking. But anyway, let's continue. Lieutenant drinks from her cup and crosses her legs, ankle on knee. Seeing her chair makes you doubt she'll ever find a comfortable position. Where should we start? Oh my god, okay. Before I continue on my journey, I need to ask them about the peninsula, the Roadwarden, and the rope. Right. Maybe we cut through it. What should I know about the peninsula? I'll tell you what I know, and you'll be the judge, says the lieutenant. How long did it take you to get here from the city? On a decent palfrey, I'd guess it would be 3-4 days. When you confirm, she continues. From here, you can reach the coast in about a day, as long as you don't make any stops. Do you know the situation, why no ships can get here? You nod. The sea routes allow Hovlavan officials to keep in touch with the coastal villages, collect taxes, move the soldiers, collect lumber, deliver tools. But maintaining order on a wild coast, such as this one, is like filling the ocean depths with coins. Because of the rocks, you can hardly stop a ship 5 miles from the shore, and boats can't get much closer. She nods. I don't know much about fishing, but there's not that many people living by the shore, and they don't crave to stay in touch with the city folk. As she pauses, her companion carries on. No soul from the north ever came to the camp, but when we travel to the roadside inn, Pelt of the North, they're happy to trade and to play dice. Why not just stay at one of the settlements? It's a good question. The man clears his throat. I mean, we're to guard this road. This camp is our post, and well, he turns toward Tulia. She lowers her voice. Don't take it the wrong way, Gronk, but are you a devout soul? Oh my goodness, hang on. What is this? Pagan? Order truth, hang on. I'm from a small village. For me, the freedom of shell, pneuma, and soul are the main virtues of life. My community is unique and independent, so as members, I've put my place in my fellowship. For many years I've supported a monastery that does its best to advance mankind's spiritual growth, artistry, herbalism, and magical research. I follow the teachings of an order of truth. Like most city folk, I believe that people should unite their strength to overcome the threats of nature and dark magic. Everyone will be judged, both good and evil deeds. I'm part of the United Church. I have a strong connection to nature and spirits, and follow the path of my ancestors. Some of my beliefs are considered sinister and treacherous by city folk. Oh, okay. There's no evidence of the right's existence, and all magical tales are explained by magic. No, I'm not. I mean, let's just go with the, honestly, the sort of spiritual growth. Yeah, let's do this Order of Truth. Oh, I see. She hesitantly looks away. I don't know much about that River of Faith, but I'm sure we're not that different. I'm a Unite myself, she says with a sort of pride in her voice, so she follows the United Church. The people here are disquieting. Every few words she taps the table with her finger. Their traditions won't help them negotiate with the officials. Here, she starts to draw lines with her index finger, as if she's pointing an invisible map. The peninsula is connected with roads, like a big circle. In the northwest, you'll find a weird village at a bog. It's not exactly pagan. I don't think it even has a priest who claims to be an eremite. You nod. She means fellowship. Right. They do crazy shit, her companion chirps in. They use the dead to cut down trees and dig in soil. Once I saw it, I begged to never return there. Oh, I see. Okay, so we're in strange lands that don't follow the true faith. You've heard tales such as this one since you were a child. If an isolated settlement manages to survive without a city's influence, its customs and traditions grow more and more alien. Every generation learns how to adapt to the dangerous conditions they have to deal with, and the rustic pagan traditions muddy their river of fate. Yeah, okay. I like, this is actually being even-handed. Like, God help us, we have writing that's not trying to browbeat us over anything, right? They're just sort of stating what's going on. All right, so you got your sort of main church, you got the pagans, which are sort of mysterious pseudo-evil, which kind of fits with the sort of what they're going with here, right? I say pseudo-evil. I'm not unpacking this, right? But you know what I mean, right? The people out there. But then you've got these sort of fellowship type tribes that sort of just do their own thing, so they sort of linger away from the main religion, and they start finding their own way to deal with the locals. I think this is all really interesting. This is great world building. The United Church often warns its members about the crazy druids, necromancers, and blood mages, the bringers of doom, the traitors to humankind. Were you able to speak with these necromancers? And how about the East? Any monster worth mentioning? Anything I could catch that could catch my mount? Oh, that's a good question. But I'm going to go with that's all I need to know. Again, this is an overview, and this is already blowing out in time. I want to sort of get through it a bit more. I've lost my rope, could you spare one? You're in luck. She heads toward one of the crates and moves aside a large linen sack, revealing a rope. She brings it back nonchalantly and sits down in her chair. Take it, I was planning to leave it behind. I take a closer look. A fine rope, a regular rope made of hemp fibers. I take it and offer some food in return. Or buy for 0. Can I buy for 0? Tulia nods. For now, you leave the rope on the table. Oh. I want the rope. I have to buy it for food, do I? Okay. That was confusing. Ask about the Roadwarden. Any ideas what happened to the previous Roadwarden? Tulia takes a deep breath. Aren't you a bit late for a rescue mission? We haven't heard from him for almost half a year. The soldiers speak for a bit between themselves, trying to get their story straight. They confirmed that he had stopped by their camp a few times, but stopped showing up at all in early summer. The bearded soldier starts to scratch the table with the tip of his knife, without looking at you. I don't remember his voice. Always busy, drowning in things to take care of. He would sit somewhere, sharpening his sword, fix his loud mail, clean clothes, write notes on that wax tablet of his. Yep, and leave at dawn. Unlike us, Asterian never gets bored. Tulia lets out a joyless chuckle. He's secretive, but some of the locals speak about him warmly. Maybe he just doesn't like us. Sounds like you're not sure if he's dead or not. That does sound like it. If anyone knows, they won't tell us. Maybe someone is keeping him in a basement. The man carves with passion. We haven't seen him or his saurian. Something ate them, I bet. The officials have hired you, right? They don't expect him to return. Richer road wardens often use four-legged, meat-eating saurians as their mounts. Oh, it's more like a wolf sort of thing. They have to be tamed and trained since they're hatching? Maybe not a wolf, but unlike horses, can easily defend themselves from many monsters. At least your palfrey is fast and reliable and won't suddenly sink its teeth into an innocent passerby. Do you know what he was looking for? Maybe he left you a message. Neither one of us had any insight into his dealings, says Tulia. My predecessor left me no clues. We also took a look at Asterian's stuff. Wait, she raises her open palm. I almost forgot. She stands up and heads to a nearby tent. He has kids in a village near Hovleven. I was planning to take all his things there. A pouch, a second spear, a decent bow, some potions. Quite a treasure. She glances at you. But I would much prefer to bring them truth about their father. So you want me to find out what happened to him in exchange for his stuff? Well, here's the catch. She dusts off the hilt of her sword. We've hired a messenger to ask the commanders for further orders. Since she hasn't returned and you know nothing about her, she either ran away or something happened to her. She sighs with resignation. We're meant to stay here until fall. What do you think? Come see us. Tell us... what do you think? What do you think? Come see us. Tell us what you've learned about the man, and we'll get back to Hovleven together. Seems like a fair enough plan. You think about your real mission. You're planning to return to Hovleven in the early fall anyway. If he's alive, I don't think he's going to be happy about me taking away all of his possessions. True, but he's considered dead. I doubt he'd begrudge you anything. And who knows, you may just find his shell lying on the roadside tomorrow. He wears mail, uses a spear mostly, maybe 5 feet tall but stout, long red beard, short hair, pale face, rarely smiles. I like him already. She glances at her companion, but after he adds nothing, she sits down and stretches out her legs. So find out what happened to him, dead, alive, left, just let me know. Use your journal to see a list of quests. Alright. Find the Roadwarden. Before I became the Roadwarden of this peninsula, a man known as Asterian used to patrol these roads. If I manage to find out what happened to him and bring the news to Tulia from the southern camp, I'll receive his abandoned belongings. Okay. Cool. I know everything I need. Are you sure, says the bearded man? We may not be around the next time you come here. We should prepare for the night anyway. We very much should, Tulia sighs with relief. And you'll need a lot of sleep on your journey. I stand up and prepare for the night. Stay tidy to have a better chance of influencing others. Appearance. You don't stand out from the crowd. You won't get much cleaner without a proper bath. You go to the barrel and splash water on your face, which makes you even more aware of how much you need a bath. After the night, it will only get worse. Your horse is already napping, still too anxious to lay down. I prepare for my watch. This is cool that it's adding all these mechanics. And nighttime, okay. But being that it's such a slow burn, it's so hard to cover off, you know? But I think it's fair to say this seems to be a pretty awesome game. A cool little experience. Get sucked into. Who knows? Maybe I can have my arm twisted and turn this into a playthrough. I don't mind these sort of text-heavy games from a YouTuber perspective. I'll be honest, I don't know if I would play them so much in my time, but playing them on the channel for a playthrough, we've done things like Vagris. Vagris was very well received. I don't know, maybe. Let me know what you reckon. Maybe. Anyway, let me finish off this bit here. The soldier in the shirt is eager to guide you. Just observe the area. There's plenty of griffins around, though they won't try to jump over the palisade. Probably. Better watch out for the apes. They climb up and carry out any food that they can find. And there's this one really loud werelick that keeps smelling the wall, though it has never tried to get in. He points at a gate. Lieutenant and I will block the entrances. They're quite heavy, so if anyone comes here looking for shelter, better call us to help you out. And if this someone is being chased by wolves or anything, better throw them the rope instead. I like that they've got all these contingencies. To me, this adds to even more world building because they've thought about it. You know, the writers thought about it on a meta thought. These two have been surviving here for bloody months on their own. What's their system? What do they do every night? Here we go. It makes sense. It's cool. He scratches his head. If it gets cold, feel free to make a fire. And the best place is on the watchtower. You may want to put a blanket there or something. The watchtower? He gives you a long puzzled look. Oh, here, he points at the pile of crates. Just climb up to the tallest one. You'll have a great view. He snickers, but you know you won't be able to spot any movement under the southern part of the palisade. Maybe the real danger comes from the north. You put your blanket on... Oh, and the music's changed to like nighttime. You put your blanket on the tallest crate and sit down. The night is warm, but the sporadic summer breeze brings gentle refreshment. From time to time, your back aches, and you have to force yourself to keep your eyes open. The light of the moon helps you focus on the tall grasses. For most of the time, you spot smaller critters and birds, but there are exceptions. At one point, you see 3 horned deer trying to challenge one another. Before they clash their antlers, a 2-legged dragonling appears, leading its much smaller offspring. The furry beasts try to intimidate the predators with roars and aggressive head movements. After a few moments, both sides walk away slowly, not willing to risk the fight nor to admit their defeat. I don't let it distract me. I keep looking around. You hear the death screams of distant prey and the mating calls of monkeys. Oh, everyone's favourite. Runners are chasing a grey hare. A group of musk oxen lazily chew the grass, preparing themselves to sleep. A dusk fox is running together with a lynx, making playful screeches. Thankfully, you never have to intervene. You just sit there, watching the not-so-distant forest, trying to outlast your sleepiness. You can only guess how much time has passed. Once you feel that you've had enough, you climb down and go to a tent, waking up the bearded man with just a couple of words. You confirm that nothing important has happened. I look for a place protected from the wind. I use my bag as a pillow, put my blanket on the ground and cover myself with my cloak. You aren't used to sleeping in such harsh conditions, but it's better than nothing. The weather is gentle, maybe you won't catch a cold. The stars instantly inspire your dreams, both with their splendour and by making you look for patterns and shapes among them. Your job starts tomorrow. I focus on the real goal of my journey. The Merchant Guild wants to take control of this realm. Your wardening duties are secondary. First and foremost, you need to explore the peninsula. Learn about the territory, resources, and threats. Get to know the locals and, if you can, convince them to consider negotiations with Hovlevan officials and traders. Could the tribes resist the soldiers or be a threat to the priests of the United Church? Are there any forbidden practices that need to be eradicated, such as blood magic, necromancy, robbery, or slavery? At least I have time, 40 days to be exact. I need to be as thorough as I can. Once you finish your reconnaissance, you should speak with Tulia and return to Hovlevan. There you'll report back to your employers and get your reward. In the meantime, you have your own goal to pursue. I need to gather extra coins so I can help a person I care about. I need to gather some extra coins so I can retire early and live in prosperity and safety. That seems probably pretty straightforward. If I gather enough connections among the local leaders, I'll use them to become a major player in the Merchants Guild. Nah, it's a bit too lofty for me. I want to be remembered as the soul who brought peace and order to this realm, a hero. Nah, I just want to help people. Make this region safer and the locals. Nah, it's a little bit on the nose. I need to find a new life for myself. I have a difficult past, and I want it to be forgotten. Let's do that. That's kind of cool. You can't travel during the night. Press the sleep button to rest. Your half-asleep senses are catching the sounds of the wild forest. Your instincts keep you alerted and anxious, though the pleasant, humid, late summer air evens it out slowly. You're thinking about your goal, but you need to gather your strength. All I can do now is rest. Well, what I can actually do is save. Quick save complete. Hopefully that counts as a permanent save. I suppose maybe I can save from here. Okay, well, there we go. Nice. So look, Roadwarden. Slow burn. I've done my best to have a bit of a sort of... that's exactly what this video is. It's an overview, right? It's not a review or anything like that. It's just to give you an idea of the quality of the game. I can sort of understand why it's getting overwhelmingly positive reviews. I think the art's quite nice. The writing is fantastic, and it's an absolute pleasure to read. All the little world building, looking at all the forest creatures playing with each other and hanging out and challenging each other. I think it's really good. This is well put together, but hard to tell, when you've only got so much time and so many different games to cover. I could be convinced to make this into a playthrough, a read-through, whatever you would like to call it. So drop a comment if that's something that you would like to see or hear or experience, whatever. Because, it's one of those things, not to talk inside baseball too much, but just on the tail end of it. As much as I love the business of just doing 30-minute overviews of lots of different games, I love doing that, showing lots of different games. Unfortunately, some of them, they require more than 30 minutes to really cut your teeth on. And I guess that's just one of the cons of the format, right? So many games to cover, so little time, right? Anyway, so that's my thoughts on it. And as someone who's kind of curmudgeon-y when it comes to visual novels and writing, this might be one of my more favourite ones that I've had a look in recent years. I used Sir Bronte as a bit of a high watermark. I quite like that one. And already I would say I like this better. There's something about it. There's something, Black Death, medieval, low fantasy, even though there seems to be high fantasy elements. There is a sort of grimness to it, which I kind of like, without it being miserable either. Anyway, at this point, I'm just waffling. Let me know if you want to see some more. Let me know if you get it yourself, or maybe you've played more of it and this is up your alley. Team, we might just leave it there for the time being, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.